It seems that the Union Commerce Ministry is playing some sort of a T20 match every week, sort of. They are coming with some new record, new milestone. Earlier it was a $400 billion of exports, and now the new milestone that the Commerce Ministry has achieved, it is India-Australia. That trade agreement, it has been signed. But what it really means for India, what are the sectors that are going to be benefited? Joining with me is Mr. Piyush Goyal, the minister who leads the Commerce Ministry. So, this agreement is being termed as a historic milestone. What are the sectors that will be benefited, and what is the trade volume that you believe is going to India achieve in next like 4 or 5 years?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to extend my greetings to all our brothers and sisters on this auspicious occasion of Gudi Padwa, the new year that we are celebrating today, the Navratris that start from today. It's a great day, auspicious day to begin new things. And I think it's very appropriate that under the guidance and with the motivation that Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave to all of us, we have been able to conclude the India-Australia Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement. Indus Ekta, in a way, symbolizes the unity of thought and unity of action between India and Australia. Two democratic countries, trusted partners, working in a spirit to further bring prosperity to our people. Two countries which are part of the Quad. Two countries which are trying to develop resilient supply chains so that our business persons and their business persons can expand trade with each other, so that we can provide greater degree of services, our IT sector can grow, our tourism can grow. It's really symbolic that today we have entered into this agreement which gives 100% market access at zero duty to all Indian products. Almost 97% of them immediately, and the rest 2 or 3%, barely 100 lines out of 11,000 lines, which will happen in within the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years. India is a producer of finished goods. We are a largely labor-oriented economy. We manufacture gems and jewelry, textiles, pharmaceutical products, leather accessories, sport goods. Our products are largely using a lot of labor, and which are very cost competitive in developed nations like Australia. Australia, on the other hand, is a provider of raw materials and intermediates, minerals and things like that, which are very useful for India to be cost competitive in the world markets. If our raw materials are cheaper, we are able to become cost competitive in the world. So really it's a win-win partnership. Our sense is we can double our bilateral trade from about 26, 27 billion US dollars now to nearly 45 to 50 billion dollars in the next 4 to 5 years. Preliminary estimates suggest that this will provide at least 10 lakh new job opportunities, work for our young boys and girls. It will open up the doors for greater engagement in education. We have over 1 lakh children studying in Australia. They will all now have a right to a work visa under this agreement. Most of them, of course, they have to pass their exam with good marks. They have opened the doors for a holiday come work visa. So a young person under the age of 30 can go to Australia, work for 6 months and enjoy as a tourist for 6 months. They've opened the doors to our cooks, Indian cooks, chefs, to our yoga instructors. So it's an agreement which really is opening the doors of engagement between Australia and India very wide. Sensitive sectors we have been able to protect. So we've not opened things like dairy and wheat, grain, sugar, rice. All of that has been iron ore. These are not been given any duty concessions. So this is truly a partnership between two friends in the spirit of cooperation and reflective of the deep confidence that our two leaders, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Morrison, have in each other, and they are very, very strong friendship developed over several years.
And a full comprehensive deal by when we can expect? Are you targeting?
We expect that this will come into force in about 4 months or so, 4-5 months time. After that, we'll get down to working on newer areas like digital engagement, sustainability, various plans that we have to discuss. And it should take another few months after that.
Lastly, India-Australia, this trade deal is done. Other destinations or the new nations that you are in talks or discussions?
Well, we are already in dialogue with Canada, with the United Kingdom, with Israel, with the European Union. All of them developed large economies. We are in talks with the GCC, the Gulf Cooperation Council, which reflects 6 countries, including UAE, for a collective comprehensive economic partnership with the GCC, with whom we have a lot of trading interests. So I think Prime Minister Modi, and very recently he had mentioned it also, that if we want to grow, if we want to provide work for millions of people, if we want to make India a prosperous nation, we'll have to increase our international engagement. We'll have to become a global economy. All the developed world today are countries which have done a lot of exports, a lot of international trade. I think India is now set on the path. Prime Minister Modi had recently announced that India, for the first time in its history, has touched $400 billion of export, a target that he had set after extensive consultations with all stakeholders. Most people didn't believe him, but Prime Minister Modi means business and really monitors and takes up any mission with full earnestness to serve the people of India.
Really, thanks for joining with us. Thank you, sir.